Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and it's time to talk about The Walking Dead. I missed last week's video. I was really busy, I had stuff going on, so I didn't get a chance to get the video done. I apologize for that. We didn't get to talk about it over the week, but for this video we're going to talk about both episodes, because they kind of go together in the theme, more so than the actual plot. But that's okay. So last week was the episode that focused mostly on Carol and Maggie and them being captured. Which, concept-wise, pretty good concept. And as far as the episode goes, for the first 45 minutes, I was really worried that it was going to be another throwaway episode from the early part of the season. I was really worried about that, especially since we're running out of episodes this season. You know, we need some stuff to happen. Luckily, it was well written. It was an entertaining story. It was just kind of we don't really need that much insight into these characters who are most likely, and turns out did, die by the end of the episode. But after the 45-minute mark, roughly, everything gets way better because Carol and Maggie kill all kinds of people, and it's really good. So it was good in that sense that they killed the people and they got the job done, and every time Negan's people come across Rick's people win, and that's uncommon, especially in today's media. We often see, or entertainment I guess I should say, we don't often see the good guys winning on a regular basis. I know that's the nature of things. If the good guys win every time, it's boring and they don't have stories to tell. You know, Batman's fought the Joker how many times, and how many times has he lost? Almost every time until the very end. So, you know, I understand that it's necessary, but in this case, it's really nice and enjoyable to see the good guys winning. Okay, so that's a really good thing. And I think the other good thing is this episode focused a lot on Carol, who is, up until this point, a really good character. She's probably got the most organic, most natural story arc, character development. She's really well acted, and I think pretty well written also. So I really enjoyed seeing her character both pretend to be upset and also seriously be upset, and kind of wondering if she's going to turn into the other characters like Paula. You know, she was really worried about that, and it was nice to see that change. She'd still got the job done, but she's still starting to think about things a little bit. You know, how close am I to being a bad guy? So that's what she's worried about. And then Maggie, of course, Maggie's still Maggie. She kicks ass and she's happy with it. I mean, not happy, but she's okay with it because that's what you need to do. So that was really good, that episode. I thought it was kind of dumb at the end, though, when the bald guy from Negan's people said, "I'm Negan," and then he died right away, because obviously Rick's going to kill Negan if he gets the opportunity. So, not the best choice for that guy. Plus, I'm not sure about the whole "we are all Negan." I don't believe that's in the comics, and I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't think they've really explained that too well, and as it's going, it seems like they might not. But we'll see, I guess. Alright, so moving on to last night's episode. I thought this episode, after watching it for a few minutes, it felt a lot like last week's, in that we have a whole lot going on without really having anything going on for the majority of the episode. And then at around the 15-minute mark, something happened, and I thought, okay, well, this is going to make up for it. Kinda did. Last night's episode fell a little bit flat to me, or for me. Everything leading up to the end it wasn't as good as last week's. Last week, even though I was I'd rather something exciting happened, it was still a good story. This week's episode was kind of this is really annoying. Having these weaker characters that have a specific skill set, one being a doctor, one being a really smart guy who's got a plan for the ammunition, they should not be going out and being brazen and doing risky things. That's not their job. That's Daryl's job. That's everyone else's job, basically, except for them. They are irreplaceable. But yet they're doing these things anyway and making a big deal about it and getting kind of cocky and arrogant. And it's that's dumb. That's really dumb. And in real world, if you have one doctor only, you don't send that doctor on a run because she wants to prove she can do it. You make sure she's absolutely safe 100% of the time. Now, Eugene's not quite as integral because he's just a smart guy, we think. Who knows if he's still kind of BSing people? Probably not. He's not as integral, but he shouldn't be going out. And even if he is, which he's going out with Abraham, so that's fine, he shouldn't be making a big deal about it and putting himself in danger. So that was really annoying that kind of thing kind of like it kept happening and little instances kept happening for each crew. I didn't like that very much. And then at the end, we find out exactly why I'm right. Doctor dies. Yeah, it was an accident. They meant to kill Daryl, which, whatever, that's irrelevant. That's just a story point. The doctor's dead now. Because of what? For what reason did she die? Because she had to prove to herself that she could handle her shit or whatever it is she said in the show. That's dumb. And I guess I could blame the writers for it, or it's just because people would do that kind of thing in real life. So I guess it's okay that they wrote it that way, but it's still like so many dumb things happened in that episode by the characters, I mean, and of course, in turn by the writers, but I can't really blame them, I guess. I don't know. You guys probably understand what I'm saying. It was just like, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. And then they kept doing it, and now she's dead. It's kind of cool that she got shot through the eye with an arrow, but now she's dead. And then the savior people show up, and like 20 guys, probably not quite 20, but they're all armed heavily, and they almost get Daryl, and which we don't want. I thought for sure they were going to kill Daryl just because it would be a shock factor, but luckily they didn't, so that was good. And Abraham saves the day for the most part, and Eugene saves the day a little bit by having a snack, I guess you could say. So that was okay. That whole action-y part was good. It was well done. I don't know how I feel about them letting so many people get away. I mean, even though the saviors had the drop on them, with Abraham behind them, and then the other guys, Rosita and Daryl, having their guns on the other side, crossfire should have killed out most of the saviors. Turns out they only got a couple. Like, come on. More of them should have died. I know they're setting up for a big problem, big problem at the end of this season with Negan and the remaining people that he has, but prior to this episode, Rick's people have been highly successful against Negan's people. And this episode, it's like, all of a sudden, that's not the case anymore, even though they turned the odds, they flipped the table, and basically had the upper hand in that situation. Once Eugene took a bite out of crime and everything started to go in their favor, it should have been a little bit more successful for them, I think. But it is what it is, so I'm okay with it. I have some reservations going into next week's episode. Hopefully I like it. I hope it's good. I'm really not pleased with what happened with Carol this episode. She's gone. She said she's done. She can't kill anymore. And since she can't kill for people, she can't love people, and she wants to be on her own. Which to me felt like it was too drastic a change for the character so suddenly. Like, 1 minute she's perfectly good. She meets this lady who's a bad guy, even though Carol's clearly not a bad guy. From her actions, she's not. She should be internalizing the fact that she's still one of the good guys. And now all of a sudden she's just a completely out of it. She's no longer the badass Carol that we knew, and as far as we know, she's gone, which sucks. They developed that character so well, and if she is actually gone and stays gone, we're screwed as far as enjoying the show goes, because she was one of the best parts, and now she's gone. And now apparently next week's episode, based on the commercials, we have people making dumb decisions like Daryl trying to go get her. And it's just like, I feel like they're forcing, they got a little carried away with things going well, and now they're forcing unrealistic bad things to at least potentially happen. So I'm a little worried about that. But otherwise, it was decent once the stuff started going on. Last night's episode, that is. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I think it's, 2 episodes left? So lots of potential for good stuff. Lots of potential for problems, so we'll see. I want to know what you guys think about all that. Last week's episode and this week's episode in the comment section below, and we will talk about that up until next week. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.